I'm going to give you an antitoxin shot. Won't do you any good, but it'll make your mother happy. Long about tomorrow, your thumb will swell up like a poisoned pup. Bring it back and I'll lance it."
"Am I going to lose my thumb?" the boy asked.
"Nope, but you'll do your scratching with your left hand for a few days. Now, Jim, what brings you here? Bellyache?"
"No, Doc, it's Willis."
"Willis, eh? He looks pert enough to me."
The doctor stared down at the creature. Willis was at his feet, having come up to watch the dressing of Frank's thumb. To do so, he had protruded 3 eye stalks from the top of his spherical mass. The stalks stuck up like thumbs in an equal-sided triangle, and from each popped a disturbingly human eye. The little fellow turned around slowly on his tripod of bumps, or pseudopeds, and gave each of his eyes a chance to examine the doctor.
"Give me a cup of Java, Jim,"
commanded the doctor, then leaned over and made a cradle of his hands.
"Here, Willis. Upsy-daisy."
Willis gave a little bounce and landed in the doctor's hands, withdrawing all protuberances as he did so. The doctor lifted him to the examining table. Willis promptly stuck out legs and eyes again. They stared at each other. The doctor saw a ball covered with thick, close-cropped fur, like sheared sheepskin, and featureless at the moment, save for supports and eye stalks. The Mars creature saw an elderly male Earthman almost completely covered with wiry gray and white hair. The hair was thin on top, thick on chin and cheeks, moderately thick to sparse on chest and arms and back and legs. The middle portion of this strange, un-Martian creature was concealed in snow-white shorts. Willis enjoyed looking at him.
"How do you feel, Willis?" inquired the doctor. "Feel good? Feel bad?"
A dimple showed at the very crown of the ball between the stalks, dilated to an opening. "Willis, fine," he said. His voice was remarkably like Jim's.
"Fine, eh?"
Without looking around, the doctor added,
"Jim, wash those cups again, and this time, sterilize them. Want everybody around here to come down with the pip?"
"Okay, Doc," Jim acknowledged, and added to Francis, "You want some coffee too?" "Sure, weak, with plenty of cow. Don't be fussy." Jim dipped into the laboratory sink and managed to snag another cup. The sink was filled with dirty dishes. Nearby, a large flask of coffee simmered over a Bunsen burner. Jim washed 3 cups carefully, put them through the sterilizer, then filled them. Dr. McRae accepted a cup and said,
"Jim, the citizen says he's okay. What's the trouble?"
"I know he says he's all right, Doc, but he's not. Can you examine him and find out?"
"Examine him? How, boy? I can't even take his temperature because I don't know what his temperature ought to be. I know as much about his body chemistry as a pig knows about patty cake. Want me to cut him open and see what makes him tick?"
Willis promptly withdrew all projections and became as featureless as a billiard ball. "Now you've scared him," Jim said accusingly.
"Sorry."
The doctor reached out and commenced scratching and tickling the furry ball.
"Good, Willis. Nice, Willis. Nobody's going to hurt Willis. Come on, boy. Come out of your hole."
Willis barely dilated the sphincter over his speaking diaphragm. "Not hurt, Willis?" he said anxiously in Jim's voice.
"Not hurt, Willis, promise."
"Not cut, Willis?"
"Not cut, Willis, not a bit."
The eyes poked out slowly. Somehow he managed an expression of watchful caution, though he had nothing resembling a face.
"That's better," said the doctor. "Let's get to the point, Jim. What makes you think there's something wrong with this fellow, when he and I can't see it?"
"Well, Doc, it's the way he behaves. He's all right indoors, but outdoors? He used to follow me everywhere, bouncing around the landscape, poking his nose into everything. He hasn't got a nose," Francis commented. "Go to the head of the class. But now, when I take him out, he just goes into a ball, and I can't get a thing out of him. If he's not sick, why does he act that way?"
"I begin to get a glimmering," Dr. McRae answered. "How long have you been teamed up with this balloon?"
Jim thought back over the 24 months of the Martian year. "Since along toward the end of Zeus, nearly November."
"And now here it is, the last of March, almost Ceres, and the summer gone. That suggest anything to your mind?"
No."
"You expect him to go hopping around through the snow? We migrate when it gets cold. He lives here."
Jim's